Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, bale on a JCB. So, what we're doing with this bale, I'll just have to put the camera down a minute. Right, so what we're doing with this bale, we are actually going through this gate. I'll open it. Right, so we're taking this bale down to the heifers. So, the heifers are still out. They've been out, well, I say, these are the heifers that were the bull. They've been with the bull now for about 5 weeks, roughly. Well, they've basically run out of grass. There's no more grass for them. The fields around them are being grazed with the milk cows, so we're just going to go and give them a bale because they've got no grass. As soon as it turns wet, they're coming inside, so we need to just hang off. The longer they're outside, the better, really. Right, so we're down here now with the heifers. There's 40 here with the bull. Not quite sure where the bull is. He's somewhere. That could be him over there. What I do is I go and take this bale, put it on the top of that hill right on the far side and roll it down the hill. But as you can see, there's literally no grass left for them. But feeding them outside, as long as it's dry, it's not a bad way of doing it. It is spitting rain in the minute, a bit of drizzle, but I think it's coming more wet next week, so we might bring them in before then. But that's not the purpose of this video. We're going to actually look to see if the purpose of this video is we're going to see if we've got enough silage to last us through the winter. So we'll feed this bale and then we'll head back to the farm and take a look at silage stocks and see if all important question is, have we got enough silage to see us through the winter? Because I'm not going to lie, it's going to be touch or go. Right, so we've fed him a bale now. That's the remains of it. I let it go off the top of that hill up there, and it didn't unroll like I thought it would have done, so there's a pile of it in the bottom, but they'll eat that up now. But with these being bulling heifers, it's very important that we keep them in good condition. So them being short of grass isn't good for me and it ain't good for them. It ain't good for me because they'll push at the walls. We don't want that. Not good for them because they'll lose condition, and not good for me because they won't get in calf. And the point of them being bulling heifers, running with a bull, is so that they get in calf. So that's why we're supplementary feeding them some, well, it's like hay, isn't it, rather than silage, but I think most of our first cuts like that. But anyway, we'll head back to the farm now. And we'll need to get the feed ready for tomorrow. So basically I've just got to tidy up the wrap that's off these bales that I fed today, and then get the bales ready that I'm going to feed tomorrow, which, yeah, just get them down and cut them open and we can have a look. You can see they've got no grass left in here whatsoever. I mean, that's where I've let previous bales, where I've fed previous bales, all the way down here. All the way up there, that's where yesterday's bale was. But like I've already said, these heifers aren't going to be out for very much longer. They'll be inside probably this time next week, just because as soon as it turns wet, it'll make more of a mess me feeding them. Whereas at the minute it does save me a bit of time scraping them out and bedding them. Right, so here's a very typical bale, like what most of our first cut is like. It is very, very dry. You'll be looking at like 40 or 50% at least dry matter, if not more. A lot drier than the stuff we made last year, and it does smell really nice. So do what every farmer does when they smell in silage. Quite nice. Oh, it does smell really nice, that. I can't argue with the cows because they like it as well. We'll have a look at some third cut later as well, because at the minute it's just starting to rain. A bit annoying. At the minute, I mean, I've got 6 bales here. At the minute I feed 3 bales to the milk cows in the morning. Dry cows get 1, and then at night James gives 5 bales of third cut to the milk cows. Or either third cut or second cut. That's what we're giving them at the minute. They're milking quite well off it, to be fair. Not sure whether it's the first cut they're milking off or the third cut, but the third cut does smell really nice, considering how late it's been in the year and the fact that it was only made about 3 weeks ago and we're already feeding it. No additive. We don't use any silage additive or anything like that. But it'll be interesting to get it analysed in the winter to see what it's like. See if I'm right with the dry matter. It's going to be pretty low in energy, not going to lie, because it's very stalky stuff. But third cut's very leafy stuff, so you've got to take what you can get, really. But we'll actually go inside now because it is raining, and we'll just do a sums on how many bales we've actually made this year and the demand. So I did say milk cows have 3 in the morning, dry cows have 1, so that's 4. What do I need the other 2 for? The other 2, the heifers have 1 every day, although tomorrow, actually, I'm not going to bother giving them 1 because they hadn't eaten it all up when I took it to them this morning. So that's 1, and then normally I have 1 to feed inside, normally with calving cows or something, so that's why I got 6 down. Also, it just finishes the column of bales off nicely there. But we'll go and do the sums and see how many bales we made this year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, touch touch wood, we'll be all right, because the milk cows are still out, so that's very important. I should make that quite clear. The milk cows are still out in the day. They're only in at night, although they're coming in around dinner time-ish, so if they were in full time, they'd probably have 2 more bales than what they're getting at the minute. So they have 3, probably like 5. I can't see they'd eat more than that, because this is really high dry matter stuff. And basically what that means is they eat less to get, they can eat less to get more, if that makes sense. So they're not eating water, basically, they're eating forage, and that forage has got less water in it, so they get fuller quicker, and there's more in each bale as well because there's less water in it. So yeah, but we're going to do the sums now and see how many bales we made in 2025. Right, so we're inside now, because it's raining outside now. It's just coming out of the rain. So on this piece of paper, I've got down all my bales that we made this year. Now, last year, the total number of bales was just past 5,000, which was a record for us. We've never made that many bales before. Try and get out of the sun a bit. Yeah, so we made over 5,000 last year. Not going to sugarcoat this. We are considerably down on last year. So, at the start of this year, when the cows went out back in middle of April, I worked out we had just over 1,000 round bales left, which was pretty good going, really. And I thought, well, you know, we're going to look after having to sell some of these. Luckily, we didn't, because of the summer that we had, with the very little grass growth that was from like end of June all the way to, well, even through the spring we were feeding silage when we shouldn't have been, really. So I'd say probably from, you know, beginning of May we were feeding silage when we shouldn't have been. Yeah, it would have been back at the beginning of May. But anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, we need to look at how many bales we made this year. So the total number, well, we made 480. I'll talk you through the figures. We made 480 bales of third cut, right? I might be slightly wrong on that. We did, we sort of lost count, but the round figure is around 480. Second cut was 649 bales, which isn't really much more than third cut, really. And we did a lot more acres for second cut, so yeah, we did quite poorly there. And the average bales per acre for second cut was less than 4 bales to the acre, which was quite shocking, really. Whereas third cut was pushing 5 bales to the acre, so we had more bales. Well, we were nearly at 6 bales to the acre third cut rather. So 6 bales to the acre third cut, and second cut was barely 4, well, less than 4. So, you know, later season grass grew better than, that's basically what we're learning from this. Late season grass that were growing in September and October, was growing better then than it were in July. That's not normal. That doesn't normally happen, but that's happened this year. So that takes our total to 1,129 bales. Of second cut and third cut. I'm working backwards here. I should actually count the first cut first, but first cut split into 2 halves, and you'll see why in a minute. So 2 halves of first cut. One was hay and the other one was silage, even though the silage has actually turned out more like hay or haylage. So we made some round bales of hay. We do try and make some round bales of hay, just because James wants some for his sheep when they're lambing, even though he probably only uses like 3 or 4 at the very most. And I steal a few for the calves. Well, the calves end up having most of it, to be honest with you. But the hay, we had 148 bales of hay. So we had 3 fields of hay that we left. The cows grazed earlier in the season. So back in like April, May, they grazed that. And then at end of May, we slurried it, fertilised it again and shut it up for some hay. Then we had a bonus field of hay that the heifers... the heifers, it had got too far ahead of the heifers, so I kept the heifers short of grass just so I could mow that, because I knew we were going to be short anyway. So I didn't want to waste grass, if that makes sense. Let it rather than let them graze it, then I'd have to top it because they won't graze long grass, which does happen. because they'll only pick the best stuff out of it. So I kept them short and an extra field of hay. We had 31 bales off that. Then we had 2 fields late. The last fields we baled for first cut that James did for hay. And yeah, that takes our total of hay 148 bales, which then takes us total to like 1200 and something bales. But then the big one, first cut, 260 acres we did first cut. And we had 1824 bales, which takes our total to 3,101 bales of silage we've made this year. Well, silage, hay, round bales, 3,101 round bales of fodder. That is considerably down. That's nearly 2,000 bales down on last year, but I think we'll have enough. And I've already touched on the subject a bit already. You saw when I opened that bale earlier, it was very dry. The cows are taking the cows longer to eat it because it's dry. And I did say that earlier in the summer in another video when I said about how many bales we'd lost during first cut just purely because of the weather. They're drier, so the cows eat it slower. So swings and roundabouts really. The nutritional value of it might not be very good. I don't know until we get it analysed. But well, probably because it's very, it'll be very stalky stuff. But the cows will eat it slower, so in theory they'll get through eat slower. Will use it slower. They won't need as many to be fed, and we should have enough. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I'm just about to go and actually let the cows in now, so we can go and have a look at a meeting. To be honest with you, so we'll go and do that now. I'm actually planning on doing another video similar to this. But this video is going to be long enough, so I won't put it in this. I'll do another video in like a week or two, I think, of what it costs to actually make a round bale, or what it has this year, and compare it to pit silage or clamp silage. And then, because we rent some ground away from the farm, there's about a mile away, the cost of rent compared to the amount of bales you get off it, well, this year it'll be quite tragic because the crop was down, but it can be good to just look through the sums and see, at the end of the day, does farming actually pay? Because at the end, given what's happened with the milk price just lately, it's not paying its way, shall we say. Right, so it's actually a few days later, and I've only just managed to finish finish recording this video, if that makes sense. But here's some third cut. Let's have a look at it. Oh, that smells absolutely delicious. There's 6 bales here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what James feeds these at night. But these are really nice compared with last year's when they smelled a bit like wet cabbages. That's a good word to use. Whereas this smells quite appetising, to be honest. So we'll just have a look at the others. It's all very similar, very nice stuff. It's not overly damp either. I won't pull it out to wreck it, but get it back in. But it's really nice stuff. Really nice. A lot of leaves in it, not gonna lie. It's probably from the field where it was close to the trees. But it does smell lovely. Oh, you could roll that up and smoke it. It smells like good. You couldn't, but it's a saying, isn't it? But yeah, they're a bit squashed, these, as you can tell. They're not the best shaped, but at the end of the day, it's quite nice stuff, and the cows are milking off it quite surprisingly well. Although they're eating first cut as well, so they're in third cut and first cut at the minute. Just purely because third cut is stacked in front of second cut, which is there behind it. So we can't even get to second cut if we wanted to. We have to use third cut up first. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe below, and yeah, insight to some of the bales we are feeding right now.